Good Monday morning on this final day of June 30th. Thank you for tuning in on our all streaming. Hope everyone had a super weekend. We've already recorded a half-inch of rain here this morning, so we'll get things started. And I have everything called up here on Facebook, so if you have some comments, have some questions, maybe you're traveling, we'll start with the travel forecast. I had all kinds of trouble over the weekend down in Atlanta with the hail, had even some damage to some of the planes down there. So it should be good to go, even though up in Detroit they're showing primarily just general rain there. It's 77 degrees. Chicago's in pretty good shape at 80. Dallas-Fort Worth is at 81. Buffalo is at 82 if you're doing any traveling today. As far as the travel forecast is concerned, I'll go ahead and take that full so you can see that. There we go. And also, let's take a look at the air quality alerts. This is encouraging. So we've got a front that's going to cycle on through. So the air quality is pretty good. And less of a concern, those fires up in Canada. And let's take a look at this history on June 30th overall. We had a record high. We smashed a record high back in 2012. Of course, that was a sweltering summer. In fact, leading into, as we went into July of that year, we only had 11.5 inches of precipitation. We've had well over 34 this year. And if you want to feel cooler, on this date in 1943, we only had a high of 71 degrees. Now, I talked about we have had 5,500s in the rain gauge here this morning. In 1900, we had 1.74. So theoretically, we could break the daily record if we had another slow-moving storm cycle across Evansville and Vanderburgh County. Hopefully, we don't see that much rain, but we've already have a base layer, at least here at the station, of a half-inch of rain. So some of the records, and then an outbreak of hail back in 2011 up in the Chicago area as we look historically nationally. Let's take a look at our rain and storm chances. We've already paid off with some rain here, a lot of rain in the pre-dawn hours, and we had some showers and storms down through Owensboro, but missed the Madisonville area. And then we'll kind of go in as we open up July tomorrow, a typical where we have these afternoon, evening storms, but kind of the pick days of the week would be Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll have more on that in a moment. Now, severe weather threats, we do have a level 1 threat for a few severe thunderstorms. I think the best setup would be this afternoon and tonight. Isolated severe weather threats, winds at 58. I don't think hail's going to be a concern, but we'll check in. The Storm Prediction Center, maybe sometimes they update before we start the streaming here. So we're not risk for hail or a tornado threat, but generally a small threat for damaging winds. And these slow-moving storms, this time of year, the upper-level winds are pretty quiet, so you can get a lot of rain over a small area. We had some flood warnings up through, I'll take this full up through northern Martin, and then back through Davies on the Indiana side with these slow-moving storms. So not a major risk. In fact, we've held off on any alert day. At this time on Doppler radar, all the showers are generally to the east. We'll widen it out just a bit if you're doing any traveling. I don't know if I'll take a wider view, but they were showing some rain up in Detroit if you're doing any traveling. And if you head over to St. Louis or Louisville, you're pretty good to go. Got a complex of storms there, Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska, down through Kansas to north there of Oklahoma City, and a little disturbance there off the coast there of Florida. And if you're in the Panhandle, US Highway 30A, and then back through Tampa Bay, a few showers. So generally, we're in pretty good shape. Let's run down our temps. Of course, pretty typical here. Humid at 78. We'll check the heat index. The heat index today about 100 as we go into the afternoon. Let's see the current reading. 81 at Evansville. We're kind of trapped in the clouds right now, and then we'll evolve into some sunshine as we go into the afternoon hours overall. Here are the outlooks. These are the 6 and 10-day outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center. So overall, we are scheduled during that stretch from the Climate Prediction Center to be slightly, it's not what everybody would want during the month of July overall. We're going to be slightly above average overall. And let's stretch it out. We'll go out to of course, this includes our area. We'll go out 14 days, the 8 and 14-day outlook. So kind of in a pattern here where overall we're going to be above average as far as our temperatures are concerned. See a good morning there from Carolyn. Somebody was asking about, Lacey, about Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So Cape Girardeau, Missouri, pretty much, which we'll get to in a moment. Cape Girardeau, Missouri does have an isolated severe weather threat as we go into the afternoon. So take a look at the forecast. Headed for about 90, which is about the average for this time of the year. Now we're down to a 60% chance for showers and storms. We talked on 14 News Sunrise. Not everybody sees rain today. And then for tonight, the best chance for some showers and storms. Generally, as we go through tonight, overnight, and then into the pre-dawn hours on Tuesday. In fact, we do have a risk for a few severe thunderstorms covering the overnight and pre-dawn hours. But generally, I think it still will be sultry during the morning, but we'll transition into less humid conditions Tuesday afternoon. So if you're looking for some pick days, Tuesday and Wednesday look pretty good. Maybe want to get the yard cut before friends and family come in for the 4th of July. Now let's go to hour by hour. I'm using the HRRR model here as far as, and I'm just going to scoot this along. I'm not going to belabor this. Showing a few storms in here, a little more active as we go through this evening. That's that frontal boundary drawn a little bit closer as we go through this afternoon. Somebody wrote, yeah, we had some storms. Some pets got up early. Some storms over there in Newburgh and Evansville. Good morning to you there, Jeremy. We're seeing this via Facebook. This takes us through tonight. So not a lot, but showing a little bit more late tonight. I'm using the rapid refresh model. I think this is a good short-term model as far as storms. And just like this morning, then early tracking a little bit of lightning, and then winds will turn over out of the northwest. We'll veer out of the northwest as we go into Tuesday afternoon. This takes us to Tuesday at 5. You know, winds out of the north in July, we'll take it. And then Wednesday, a decent day. Humidity, not bad, still hot. I mean, this is the time of year where cold fronts don't do a whole lot as far as cutting into our temperatures. You're not going to have a front that's going to take you down 20 degrees cooler in the wake of the front because of the extended daylight here. Now let's go into the 4th. Winds out of the south, kind of a typical 4th of July. But, you know, you go back the last 5 or 6 years, we've had some rainy 4th, especially as we get into fireworks. So if you have a pool, lake day, I don't anticipate a lake wind advisory. And this will take us into Saturday. Some of the fireworks displays will be taking place on the 5th of July. So overall, just a few. I put it down to, I think, a 10% chance. And the best setup for some thunderstorms, I picked the European, the long-range model here. Here's the extended forecast as we take this full. So no alert days. We'll keep an eye on the storms as we go into the afternoon. There's the 4th. So I put in a 1 in 10 chance. I get some questions. Well, what does a 10% chance mean? A 1 in 10 chance you could see a storm basically where you're standing. That's the best way to explain it. So I'm going to take a quick look. The 4th is looking, Elijah, pretty good. I mean, it's a typical 4th of July. It's going to be dry. You know, Lacey made a good point. Yeah, we still could see some flash flood warnings with these slow-moving storms overall. Mitch Carter's over there, and Casey, they're getting ready to come in here and do the news. They're on deck. So I appreciate the comments. Cape Girardeau, have a safe trip over there. Jeremy, good morning to you. Laura, watching from Dawson Springs. Big shout out to you. Good morning. I can sit here and talk all day long. I'm getting the rap. All right. We'll be up here with Mitch and Casey in a moment.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here for the news portion of your 8:30 stream show in our CTV room. I'm Mitch Carter.
A great start. I'm Casey Mason. Yeah, thanks for joining us on this Monday. We were having a microphone malfunction, as you can see, because it wouldn't be a Monday without something going wrong. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. We've been doing this now for a couple of weeks. I think some of you have caught on and know that about 8:30 every day, we're going to bring you kind of an update in the forecast with Byron kicking things off, and then Mitch and I will bring you some headlines. And we love to see comments. I already got to mention one here. We have from, let's see here. Oh, where'd it go? Hang on. We had
Laura
a good morning
Gray.
at Mitch and Casey.
Good morning,
which
Laura.
makes our day. Laura, yes, there it is.
Appreciate
I lost
you.
it. Laura Martin. Yes. All right. Well, I tell you what, let's get started on a few headlines from today. So we're going to recap a few stories for you. Starting off with, you want to take this one away?
Sure thing. We've got a traffic alert here for those in Spencer County. We've got a map up on your screen right now. So starting today, the intersection of County Roads 200 North and 900 West will be closed. For those that drive out there, that's for a bridge replacement project. Officials say if you're going south on 900, you can still go west on 200. However, important note here, you are not able to go east. That project expected to last about 5 weeks there, so if that's your normal route, go ahead and find an alternative for a little while there. All of that, of course, just north of the Hatfield area.
Yeah, that's right. And another story that we covered this morning, if you didn't catch it on air, is one I love here. This is a 14 News update from Henderson, where you can see it there. The Viper is back in the sky. On Friday, crews remounted the iconic first-generation Dodge Viper there on the Audubon Chrysler Center entrance sign. That's along Highway 41. In case you've missed it, owner Larry Bennett took the Viper down last November for some maintenance, and this was actually just the second time, Mitch, in 29 years that it's been down. I know growing up, I'd always look forward to seeing that on the strip there in Henderson. The work included a fresh coat of paint, and before going back up, the car was on display in the showroom for folks to check out. And hey, here's a fun fact. It only has 12 miles on the odometer, so it's more than I...
Not very well loved. It's hanging out up there. The Viper sits high in the sky. We've all heard the radio ads, so very, very cool. I love stuff like that.
I know they say, you know, cars, they lose value when you drive them off the lot, but what about when you drive them
up?
up on a sign like that? I don't know. So clever marketing there.
No
I
doubt,
like
no
it.
doubt.
So.
I'm glad to see that made its return now. People were upset about that.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Viper. Fun one here in Kentucky as well. Just check this out. You might be $25,000 richer. That's because lottery officials say somebody won a $25,000 a year for life ticket that was sold online, meaning it could have been sold anywhere across the Commonwealth. Here are the numbers there. If you've got one of those tickets here from Friday, we'll read them to you. It is 5, 12, 33, 43, 47, and a lucky ball of 17. Now, officials do say the winning ticket matched all numbers except for the lucky ball there. Once again here, 5, 12, 33, 43, and 47, Casey.
Write it down. Just go
Yeah,
get a
right.
pen. Yeah, we ran that this morning, of course. If you have that ticket, you still have 6 months to claim it at the lottery headquarters in Louisville, and you still have 6 months for me to become your best friend if you're the winner of that.
I don't need it every month.
cool.
If you can hit me for 1 month,
Just 1 month,
I'll
right?
give you a shout out on TV. It's not a big deal. We'll take care of you.
I mean, that Viper there on the Henderson strip. So
Save up 2 months. You can buy the Viper.
I know. Yeah, that's a cool. I always wonder, like, I panic when we read those lottery stories because I want to be like, somebody, like, they need to know, like, someone tell them. You got
Yes.
to pay attention to those. I've heard so many funny lottery stories over the year listening to radio shows. I listened to this one radio show, and they do like a little lottery segment where people have like lost their ticket, or they'll find it in the pocket of a jacket months later, and it's
Right.
worth millions. And stuff that just stresses me out.
You're missing out. I know. So before we go to comments here, I have to ask you one quick question. Everyone talks about it. You know, if you win the $25K a month for life,
Oh man.
any big investments?
I know always the question of would you take the sum up front, but this is one of those situations, where you would get it
That's
it's
nice.
annually, right? I mean,
I
that
think
would
it's
be
monthly.
monthly. I read
wait,
that.
I could be wrong. Hang on.
Let's
let me
go back on the script there. What does it say?
Uh,
25,000
Oh,
for
a year.
A
Excuse me.
year. Okay, man,
yearly,
monthly.
annually. Pardon me.
Listen,
me.
bring it down.
That's
That
still
would be
nice.
even
25K
better.
a year is not bad.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what would I do? I mean, the first thing is do all the boring stuff with it, you know, pay off things, invest things, all of that boring stuff.
Sure.
And then have fun with it. I mean, buy an island if I could. That would be great.
You're going to need
you know?
several years of
I know.
25K to buy an island.
Quite enough money. But no, I think definitely something fun. I think the name of the game here, if you ever win the lottery, which knock on wood, I think you do the responsible stuff up front.
Sure.
You know, help out family, friends. We donate to some organizations.
Sure.
Take care of all of your finances. Get an investor, a financial advisor,
True.
which I'm married to one,
Yeah,
so
work
I'm
with
set.
one. That helps.
And then have fun. I would definitely have
No doubt.
it's something vacation, travel the world a little. You know, what would
Yeah.
you do, Mitch?
I'm right
Carter?
there with you. I think I got expenses to take care of first, and then we'll talk about the
Yeah.
fun stuff. But $25K a year, if you win that, like I said, you know, I mean, take your first year, do your thing, but don't forget about us little people here. We're here talking to you every morning at 8:30. We're working hard. Please
mean,
throw us a bone.
At least, yeah, just, you know, hey, just don't forget about us little
Yeah.
guys when you make it big. And guys, check your tickets, okay?
Seriously, yeah. Real quick, a look at the comments here.
Yeah.
We've got lots of good mornings. Of course, I think part of that is because Byron Douglas is back. The folks out there love Byron. That's okay. We're
They
doing our
do.
best, but we cannot hold a candle to our sweet BD. Good guy. I've seen the folks watching from Dawson Springs and good mornings everywhere. I saw somebody said the thunder in Newburgh woke them up this morning. So we get here very, very early. I didn't know it was going to rain
Yes.
because I'm a responsible news anchor. Left my house and got soaked. Forgot a jacket. And we were in the studio reading, and it was just boom and thundering and
So
raining so
loud.
loud. We can everything you hear at home, we hear in the studio as well. It's just on the roof. So I don't know if you ever hear it on our mics, but it is pattering the entire time when it thunders. I think we actually lost our cameras briefly this morning. They cut out before the
Oh my
4:30 started, and
goodness.
we have a generator and all that, but storms.
I
We're
told
affected too.
Mitch this morning, I was like, I just love a rainy day, except for when you have to leave your house. Then it's not fun.
It's a lot more fun at
Yeah,
home.
it actually takes me back to my first couple days here. I drove in. I wasn't officially on the clock yet, but they brought me in for Jamie's big announcement
Right.
when she was announcing that she'd be moving from sunrise to evenings, which very excited about for her. And they kind of did like a little getting to know you, Casey, introduction. And I remember it was absolutely pouring that day. And you guys had trouble hearing each other
Yeah.
because we have headsets in and we're always like, say it in this ear, not this one. So I just saw a really nice comment here. This is from Carol. She says, good morning. This is my first time watching you guys. She normally catches Jeff in the afternoon or evening. She says, I am not a morning person. Me either,
Working
Carol.
on it.
Every day is a struggle, my friend. And she goes, you guys both look very professional.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You just made our day.
Thank
We
you.
will take a compliment anytime we're given.
Absolutely.
We were saying today we look kind of like we're Purdue fans. We've got the kind of like the gold
The
and black
Boilermaker
theme.
colors
We did
on.
not plan this today.
Right.
That was just getting. Look at us.
It was
We're
my
in
only
a
clean
groove now.
shirt,
That
so
was
it
my
worked
only
out.
clean shirt. It was my most comfortable dress. So no,
One
Carol,
more
that
thing
was
here
sweet of you. Thank
as well.
you.
Thank you, by the way. Good morning. And one more thing here. I see we're talking about Jamie going from Sunrise. Another person from Sunrise, Haley Kirby. Lacey says, good morning. Haley Kirby starting at our sister station, KMOV in St. Louis. That is right. Today's her first day down there.
It's her first day.
It's her first day
oh,
today.
We'll have to reach out. Haley is fantastic, and she left us for bigger, better things.
That's
and we're
right. That's
excited
right.
for her, but we miss her. And
No doubt.
yes, if Haley, you're for some reason watching this, good luck today. You don't need it though.
Yeah,
so.
she'll be great. She'll be great. Well,
Yeah.
right now, what is it? 8:48.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do it for us here on our morning streaming show. For those who just mentioned there, we mentioned Carol's comment. Usually watching Jeff in the afternoon at 2:30 every day. We've got Rob and Jamie, and then Arden, Jeff, Michael, whoever's available, doing the 2:30 stream with them, and it's Monday through Friday. And of course, we're here every morning at 8:30 as well. So tune back in
Yes.
tomorrow. Anybody who misses the sunrise show and maybe doesn't want to tune in at 11 o'clock or 12, we're kind of that midway point for you there to give you a couple of top headlines, have a little fun, talk to you guys, and then wrap this up.
That's right. And again, from Dawson Springs, again, Laura Gray, thanks for saying hi to us. We know people usually tune in to watch Byron, but we're glad you guys
understand.
stick around for us too. And yeah, again, Carol, we'll work on our mornings, girl. It is rough. Coffee all day, every day. So
No doubt. All
yeah,
right.
thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you same time tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a great rest of your day here. Hopefully that rain stays away, and then we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Enjoy the end of June here. I'm glad it's not hot anymore.
Yeah,
Getting
last
ready for the
day.
4th coming up here. Should be a good week.
I can't believe it. 4th of July is this week. It's wild. And Mitch, maybe tomorrow you'll remember to bring an umbrella. if
Maybe
you need it,
tomorrow.
so.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you
All
tomorrow.
right. Bye, everyone.